right, so today we are going to take a look at Bloodshot by 3-0. So I know this review is kind of late on this figure, but gosh, I put it in the backlog, and then finally I didn't, it ran up, 2-3 weeks from when I wanted to do it. But I'm going to do it anyways, and the reason I'm going to do it is because I really, really like this figure. There are some shortcomings to it, but there are a lot of positives to it as well. And it really mixes in well with the G.I. Joe and Action Force, the G.I. Joe Classified line and the Action Force line. So I really want to, give a review on it and let you guys know I like this figure so much that as I do when I really like a figure, I bought one to rock and I bought one to stock. This one stays mint in box because I really, really like this figure. Of course, that's my opinion, and you guys are more than, it's your right to vote with your wallet and voice your opinion and say, you know what, I don't think so. I think this figure's crap or whatever. But I happen to like it. I think there's a lot more positive points than negative points. So let's get right into it. Let me just move him over to the side a little bit here so we can take a look at the box. This is what the box looks like. It's got some great artwork. Let me also give some context around this. I really like Bloodshot, not because it's a cool figure. It is that, but there's context around this for me growing up as a kid. This was when Valiant started way back in the they started doing comics full steam ahead. I remember the big Valiant push. I want to say it was the late 80s, early 90s. And I remember sitting outside on Wednesday at my comic book shop waiting for the next issue of Bloodshot. And I really liked him because he had kind of like the same powers as Wolverine. But this guy, instead of just using his claws or something, he would use everything in his arsenal, right? He was like a Punisher / Wolverine. He was going to go in there with everything he's got and mess you up. So I really, really like this particular figure for that reason. I liked him when I was a kid. I liked his comic books. I still have Bloodshot #1. So, anyways, that's why I like it. So back to the figure here. 3-0 made this figure. So that's whose logo is down here at the bottom. Valiant Comics, Bloodshot. Nice picture here of the figure, and also the figure there. You can see what's inside. On the side, you get some artwork again. The figure, but stylized, which is very nice. They don't give you a well. That's where I got it from. I don't know where exactly that is, but I picked this one up online. So they didn't sell it to me for that, which I'm very glad they didn't. I actually got this online on eBay for $49, I want to say. So maybe people weren't liking it or not picking it up, but I liked it, and I made them an offer and they took it. So I'm very glad that they did. This probably is just the regular price for the figure, but I got it for $49 and I pulled the trigger on it real quick. So here are some more action shots with them in the back. And here is, again, I think another stylized picture of the figure. So, yeah, I was going to get another one regardless if I got it for $69 or not. I think the figure is very much worth $40-ish, $50, which I paid for this one. $69, it's approaching, the higher limit. But I really, really enjoy this figure. So that's the box. I'm not throwing this one as I usually do because it's still got the figure in it, and I want to keep it minty. So this one will go carefully there to this. Well, it landed in a soft spot. Anyways, the figure itself, it's got a lot. It came with quite a few accessories. But let's get down to the articulation. Unfortunately, I put this shirt on him, and it covers up a lot of the articulation. But it also makes it look not so ugly. By ugly, I mean it covers up some of the articulation, but it doesn't hinder it very much. With his head, he can look up this much, so it's pretty good. He can look up pretty good. And then he can look down that much, which is really good as well. So overall, pretty good. Can he strike a T-pose? Yes, pretty simply. He can hit a T-pose pretty easily. There he goes, right there. So very good. And he also has a bicep cut right there. Let me make sure that I don't want to break him. Geez, that would be bad because I can't see where that's the only problem with the shirt. I can't see where exactly the hinge is to bring it down to the side. I think that's where it is, right there. There it is. All right. He's got a bicep cut because when I put the shirt on, I saw it. He's got double jointed pinless elbows. And I've played with this guy quite a bit, no issues. And he's also got the ability to move his hand up and down. He's got kind of like one of those McFarlane style deals where you can kind of get the ball joint where you want it and make him, turn to where you want it to turn, right? So he's got that ability to make it either a dice or a in and out type of weapon. He comes with a couple of weapons, and we'll take a look at those in a minute. But anyways, he's got good articulation here, pinless joints, and then he's got quite a few set of hands, and we'll get to those in a minute. He can crunch in that much, which is exceptional. He can really crunch in, and he can go back this much. Hold on, get out of the way there. So he can go back quite a bit too. I'm not going to sit here and tweak it too hard, but so he's got a lot. He's got a lot that he can do. He does have a torso. Does he have a bicep? He does. So he has a torso up here. And then he also has, like Ultimate Captain America, another cut right here at his waist, which is really great. Let's see, what does he have? I don't think he has drop down hips. I don't think he does. Hold on, I may be complete. No, he does. He does have drop down hips. So there you go. What he doesn't have, and this is one of the detractors that I didn't like. Well, there's two, actually. If you look at the figure overall, to me, his head is slightly smaller than it should be for the body. But I'm okay with that. I can get over that. And his hands are a little bit too big for his body. But again, you can really tell with this one. This one's a little bit ginormous. I'll fix that one. I'm going to switch that out later. But, you can kind of tell this hand is a little bit big. So anyways, well, maybe that's his mutant powers. I don't know. It's just a little big there. But I don't care. I'm okay with it. I can put a fist on there. We can get rid of that in a minute. But anyways, drop down hips, cut at the torso, cut at the waist. Drop down, pinless, double jointed knees, very good, and articulation, almost like a Joe-like articulation at the legs. You can go down that much, and go up that much. Not a tremendous amount, but enough. So that's what you can do with him. It's almost like they took a G.I. Joe, and besides missing he doesn't have a thigh cut. That's what I was going to tell you. He doesn't have a thigh cut. And I'm for the life of me, I'm thinking, why didn't they put a thigh cut in there? It'd be so easy. But they didn't put one in there, and I don't miss it. I'd like to see it there, but if it's not there, that's fine. And yeah, that's my really big complaint, right? Some of these hands are a little bit too big. His head is a little bit something's off. Is a little bit too small, I would think. And it doesn't have a thigh cut, but overall he feels great. Feels like a great figure. And he comes with a great set of accessories, and we'll get with that. So he comes with this shirt off, and then you can put this shirt on. To put this shirt on, though, it is a bit of a whipping. But I got it on, and I'm going to leave it on for him because I think he looks better with it. So again, I'm just going to leave it that way. And he usually has, now that I said it, he has a pretty easy time of standing. So just hang out there. The other thing that he has is, I really like what they did with this sword. You put these around his arms, it's stretchy, and he carries it on his back. and it's a little scabbard there. Wait, there you go. And so it literally goes right on his back, and he carries it there. It's so brilliant. Not only, it's just, I'm going to be copying this all day, every day. Now I found a new way to hold my characters. This is genius, to hold my character's sword. So I'm glad they did this, because now I got a new idea on how to handle all their swords and stuff if I ever get a character with it. He comes with that. I believe that's a 9mm that he's holding. I believe. It could be a 45. I don't know. And then he's got this submachine gun. It comes some dry brushing there. It comes with this as well. It comes with this sword. And then he comes with this looks like an M16 or an MP. Is this an MP4? It's not an M16 because the stock is wrong. So when I was in the Army, I trained on an M16A3, I believe. Vietnam, there were some Vietnam ones still in the service when I was in, and those were highly, highly coveted by a bunch of us. I got assigned one, an M16A1. The difference between them is that the Vietnam era ones, when you click that little select switch, it has full auto on it. So it's go to town time, right? It just goes off. They were coveted because there weren't very many of the A1s left. I believe the A1s and the A2s were still full automatic. And then once you go to the A3, you go 3 burst, single burst, and safety. That's enough of that. Anyways, this looks like the generation that came after me, which is the smaller ones. I don't know. I don't know what the ones after me were, because I was out. I was gone. And I didn't care to know any more about it. I just know that this was my weapon, and close to my weapon. And I remember cleaning it a bunch of times. Anyways, moving on from that. He's got he's got fists for both hands. Here's his right and his left fists, I believe. Is that right? No, wait, hold on. Where's his other fist? These are grippy hands. Here's his other fist, right? So he's got his right and left fists. And then he's got a pair of grippy, or actually sword hands right here. So you can put a sword or a baseball, whatever. He's got it's like a grip, but more like a closed grip hand. So you've got those. And then he's got an open hand for the other one if he's going to slap somebody. So anyways, you can have that one to match that one. And then you have another shooting hand, which will match that one. I wish more action figures came with this set of hands. This would really, it would just be way more useful if they came with this. Bobby Valla does his best to give us those hands. I wish Classified would give us another set of hands, and that would be fantastic. But anyways, that's my review for this figure. It's near and dear to me because I kind of grew up with it, and I grew up with that comic, and I really enjoyed it. Whether you liked it or not, I kind of really liked Vin Diesel's Bloodshot because it brought that character to life. I don't remember the plot of the movie, but I remember thinking it is very nice to see a character that I really liked come to life. So anyways, that's my review of it. I really, really like this figure. I highly recommend it. It hasn't broken on me like the Doomslayer craptastic Figma junk. So I would, I'd recommend it. I'm highly satisfied with it, and I'm going to mix it in with my classifieds, just like I do with my Action Force over here. So that's what we have for today. Be sure to like and subscribe, and as long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep rolling them out.